Welcome to 21 Chambers. Let's get down to the get down. Let's react to the facts. The fact is, we're talking the city of Whitehall and their special election recall. The facts is that it only took 2.5% of the public to say we want a new mayor and we want 2 new council members as well. Okay, now how they do that, I don't know. And where they do that at, well, I guess it's Whitehall, because 2.5 out of 20,000 people, that's not a lot of people that's asking for a recall. So that's telling me people's votes are being hijacked. How are they hijacking the votes? That's the question that we need to ask. You know, with that being said, let's react to the video and the content that we got in front of us.
A city of just 20,000 people is making a lot of political noise. This small suburb city of Whitehall, Ohio, voters are deciding whether to recall their mayor Michael T. Bivens and city council members Amy Harkar and Lori Elmore. Is this democracy at work or a dangerous precedent? The city of Whitehall, Ohio is about to make history. A rare recall election could remove the mayor and city council members from office. Is this accountability or political revenge? What if your mayor could be fired by voters tomorrow? That's exactly what's happening in Whitehall, Ohio. The question is, who wins and who loses? What do you think? The city of Whitehall is a...
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, who wins and who loses. Well, the person is voting is losing because his vote just been hijacked, all right? You know, you done voted for this man is in office. Now all of a sudden somebody gonna tell me your vote don't count. You done stood in line, you done took off of work, whatever. I mean, then on top of that, it's just something inside of you that makes you want to vote and you feel that, you know, this is doing the right thing and you're participating. And then for it to be hijacked with a minute number of people, that's where the problem begins, because this is going to go on from one city to the next city to the next city.
Target that can have a big political bang if this special election goes bad for the mayor and city council members. According to local reporting, the recall effort was organized primarily by 2 organizers, Holly Stein and Patricia Bolser, who gathered just 500 signatures to trigger the special recall election. The organizers have argued that the city needs more transparency, responsible spending.
See, that's what I'm telling you. 500 signatures out of 20-something thousand people to start a recall? Come on now, it's got to be more to play into this than we know.
And different leadership. They have also criticized the administration over disputes involving the police union and other city government decisions. Are these just words used to twist the public with no real proof and facts? Or is this just political payback from a...
This guy right here, him, he had a little controversy with a little, I guess, some kind of S thing going on. You know, can't say the words, but yeah, he had some kind of S thing going on. And then they looked into it. The police union backed him, whoop-de-whoop. Long story short, the mayor called this dude out for it because he was still under investigation. His case wasn't quite over with, and he was a sitting council member. You know, so do he got something to do with this recall election along with this woman? Okay, along with the police union? Those are the kind of questions that you got to ask yourself. You know, that's a political axe they grinding right there. That's what that is. You know, moving on.
Fair attempt to win a council member seat and to get zoning laws passed? Mayor Bivens has responded by calling the recall effort unwarranted and politically motivated, along with proof of a timeline of achievements from being Whitehall's first African-American mayor to completing major economic developments, expanding housing opportunity, bringing more investments from small business, and creating the offices of the neighborhood to improve the outreach and engagement of the community, while supporters of the recall say voters should decide whether current leadership should remain in office. One interesting wrinkle is that early in the process, reports indicated recall supporters Holly Stein and Patricia Bolser were active in a Facebook group called Whitehall 411i on government.
Start right there. The person who started the recall, what they just said, voters should say something about it, and you only got 500 people saying something about it out of 20,000 people that have voted. So that right there alone tells you it's some trickery going on in the game. And this is the reason why I'm speaking out on it, is because this can happen in Columbus. This can happen in the next city. It can happen to the next city and the next city, especially with these small cities. You know what I mean?
where discussions about the
Moving
recall
on.
were taking place. So, if you're asking who started the recall campaign, the names most consistently identified by local news sources are Holly Stein and Patricia Bolser. The question to Stein and Patricia Bolser. The question
See, now that's the problem right there. The platform. She used her platform, and then she called it eye on government. Okay, that make everybody think somebody's watching them. You know, she's watching them, but she also using other words in play to make other people think that somebody's not doing their job. That's all it takes. You could be at your job, I could be at my job, and somebody say, "Oh, he ain't doing his job." It's gonna take more than one person to say that, but the right person say it, then the allegations, I gotta unprove the allegations against me, and that's what this is going on right now.
to ask, do they have a political axe to grind or a personal motive behind the division of the community? Could the answer be yes? According to sources, Holly Stein ran for a Whitehall City Council seat. Her candidacy later became the subject of a residency challenge, and the Ohio Supreme Court ruled she did not meet the city's residency requirements for the ballot.
Yes.
She was not resident of Whitehall before running for the seat. Holstein also raised concern with zoning on job resources that wanted to come to the community. Holly Stein has never held political office. Not much is known about her crony. Patricia Balzer, however, it is noted she
Okay,
publicly
let's stop right
opposed
there.
the
That's one thing. Okay. Well, we named it earlier with the councilman and the police union. Then here's the second thing. Okay, that's piling this up to be, well, oh, we got to get him out of there. She didn't get a council member seat. That's proof right there. And everybody know you got to live in the city. I mean, and she just took the whole city through the Ohio State Supreme Court, costing them even more money. She's already a bad seed just from
Fairway
beginning
Cliffs
on
development
everything.
project at a January
Crazy.
2025 Whitehall City Council meeting. She questioned the zoning classification.
Well, I tell you, it's his own damn property. That's what these Karen and Jessicas do. That was and she took that to the council meeting.
Owner to tear down a house and build a 3-story development. Supporters argue that Whitehall is growing, attracting investment, adding housing options, and becoming more economically competitive under Bivens' leadership. They point to redevelopment along East Main Street and increased business activity as evidence of progress. Supporters argue that Whitehall is investment, expanding housing opportunities, and becoming more diverse and economically vibrant under Bivens' leadership. What makes this election particularly significant is that approximately 500 signatures were enough to trigger a recall.
Look at that graph board. That's showing you what 500 signatures look out of 20,000 people. That alone right there tells me, like, something about this just ain't right. It's not right where just that many amount of people can cause a whole recall election on a city. That right there just don't even look right. The numbers, look at the numbers. As my person I used to know back in the day used to tell me, numbers don't lie. And look at the numbers.
Election in a city of roughly 20,000 residents. That means a relatively small number of people were able to force a citywide vote that could reshape Whitehall's government. Supporters call that democracy in action. Critics call it a system vulnerable to political retaliation. Regardless of where you stand, the outcome could have consequences far beyond Whitehall. If the recall succeeds, it could encourage similar efforts in other communities. If it fails, it may strengthen the position of elected officials facing organized opposition. The real question is this: should elected leaders be subject to recall so soon after voters put them into office? Or does this create a political environment where elections never truly end? Whitehall voters will decide. Do you think the public vote was hijacked into a recall?
Why, of course, it was hijacked into a recall. I mean, yes, I think that. All right, these are my own opinions, My name is Dwayne Anthony. This is 21 Chambers, and this is the reaction to this video. I'm going to post 2 of these, so if you want to see the reaction version, you can. If you want to see the straight through version, you can too. Subscribe, like, share. Okay, I'm out. Peace, love, poetry. Well, sorry about that.